Bodybuilder reveals how he helped world's most obese child lose 18 stone.
Canada province experiments with decriminalizing hard drugs.
Man dies of electric shock after falling asleep next to charging mobile phone.
Woman tells of losing 29 kilos and becoming a bodybuilder in her 60s.
US CDC advises against using Ezricare eye drops as it investigates dozens of infections and one death in 11 states.
Boy, 3, found dead after being left in sweltering car in 34 degrees Celsius heat throughout the day.
Stem cell donor meets US woman he saved. Bodybuilder reveals how he helped world's most obese child lose 18 stone. The world's most obese child needed help losing weight, so a bodybuilder took on the task and was able to assist him in losing an incredible 18 stone, 114 kilograms. Arya Permana, an Indonesian boy, weighed 31 stone, or nearly 200 kilograms, prior to meeting Aid Rai and starting a fitness journey. He consumed a total of about 7,000 calories per day, playing video games and eating mostly processed foods, like instant noodles and soft drinks. Arya was bathed in a small pool outside his home, because he couldn't fit in a regular bathtub or shower. He would wrap a sarong around himself, because he couldn't find regular clothes that fit him. It wasn't until Arya, then 11 years old, was taken to the hospital for bariatric surgery that he first met Rai, a 3-time world natural bodybuilding champion who ran a gym nearby. After reading about Arya in the news, Rai made the decision to pay him a visit and offer his assistance. According to The Sun, he was greeted with enthusiasm when he met the boy's family at the hospital. As a result of their collaborative efforts, the child gradually changed his diet and his lifestyle, as well as joining Rai's gym and beginning a regular exercise regimen. Arya lost more than half his weight over the course of 3 years, and is currently between 13 and 14 stone. Rai, who said he treats Arya like his nephew, and that they've grown very close. Given that he goes through the journey so bravely and without any major complaints, Rai said the young boy deserves huge credit for the work he has accomplished.
Canada province experiments with decriminalizing hard drugs. In a first-in-the-nation trial, the Canadian province of British Columbia is decriminalizing small amounts of hard drugs like cocaine and heroin. Adults can now possess these drugs, along with morphine, fentanyl, and methamphetamine, in quantities up to 2.5 grams starting on Tuesday, the 31st of January 2023. The West Coast province's request for permission to conduct the 3-year experiment was granted by the federal government of Canada. It adopts a similar stance to Oregon, a nearby U.S. state that decriminalized hard drugs in 2020. While still illegal, adults who are found in possession of less than 2.5 grams of any combination of those substances will not be detained, charged, or have their possessions seized. Instead, they will be provided with details on the health and social services that are accessible.
Man dies of electric shock after falling asleep next to charging mobile phone. A store employee is thought to have passed away from an electric shock while dozing off with his arm resting against a charging cell phone. Putawat Kamwan, 34, skipped his shift for 3 days. So concerned co-workers went to his apartment in Thailand's Samut Prakan province that evening on January 26. And they discovered their friend on the bed, collapsed and decomposing with his arm resting on the phone. The charger and power cord are seen in the worker's bedroom on video next to his bed. Emergency services were called and the police have launched an investigation.
Woman tells of losing 29 kilos and becoming a bodybuilder in her 60s. A former attorney described how she turned to bodybuilding in her 60s and lost nearly 30 kilos in 2.5 years. Eileen Block, from Hawaii, started bodybuilding in 2020 and has since posted frequent updates on Instagram about her remarkable physical transformation. She now works out 6 times per week, has participated in 2-figure competitions, and has 1 more coming up. She was inspired to start working out after seeing photos of Joan McDonald working out at age 76. She reasoned that since she was in her early 60s, there was no reason not to. Eileen decided to take part in 2 shows in the space of 2 weeks and was the oldest competitor at both. Eileen's perception of what is possible for women as they get older was altered when she started competing in bodybuilding competitions in her 60s.
US CDC advises against using Ezricare eye drops as it investigates dozens of infections and 1 death in 11 states. The US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is imploring healthcare providers and consumers to stop using Ezricare artificial tears as it investigates at least 50 infections in 11 states that have caused cases of permanent vision loss, hospitalization, and 1 death. According to the agency, Ezricare was the most popular brand among those who reported using artificial tears and having these infections. Since there are no preservatives in these eye drops, bacterial growth cannot be prevented. During testing of open Ezricare bottles, Pseudomonas aeruginosa bacteria that were resistant to the antibiotics ceftazidime and cefpime, as well as carbapenem antibiotics, were found. The US CDC reports that testing of unopened bottles is ongoing.
Boy, 3, found dead after being left in sweltering car in 34 degrees Celsius heat throughout the day. In Sydney, a young boy died after becoming trapped inside a burning hot car. The 3-year-old was unresponsive when New South Wales paramedics arrived, and they immediately declared him dead. Police claimed that a man who was familiar to the child went back to the car and sounded the alarm. According to police, the boy had been left there the entire day. The tragedy occurred on a hot Sydney day when the high temperature exceeded 30 degrees Celsius. According to Bureau of Meteorology data, areas close to the incident recorded highs of 33.9 degrees Celsius at around 4:51 p.m. As reported by the children's safety organisation KidSafe, more than 5,000 children in Australia require rescue from hot cars each year. They claim that most are infants and toddlers.
Stem cell donor meets US woman he saved. A London-based stem cell donor described meeting the woman whose life he helped save as emotional. At the end of 2022, Callum Kennedy-Man took a plane to Pennsylvania in the US to meet Diane Fargo. She had been battling an aggressive form of leukemia, which his stem cell donation helped to treat. Ms. Fargo called the 22-year-old lifeguard from Stoke Newington her guardian angel. When Ms. Fargo offered Mr. Kennedy-Man and his girlfriend the chance to visit the US, they spent Thanksgiving together, and that is how the 2 people first met. For your daily global health news, visit www.StayWellWorld.org. Please do well to subscribe, like, share and comment. If you've already subscribed, turn on the notification icon so you don't miss any update. Thank you for watching.